All right, we're going to get into the 2022 Moon Bathing in Nature Regeneration Retreat. Oh, I had so much fun. But first, I got to start you off at me trying to have a photo shoot of one of my close friends and colleagues. She sells bags. I'm trying to do a photo shoot. I am not a fucking model, okay? But I had so much fun. This was at like 3 something in the morning trying to take pictures so that I could send to her. Bags are beautiful. Shout out to BX Bella on her bags. Definitely go get you one. Information will be in the description on where to check her out to get one of those bags. But I had fun doing this tired ass photo shoot for this particular bag. And so then I went outside and I saw it wasn't full moon yet, but it was a beautiful, beautiful bright moon. So I got super, super fucking excited before I got to the airport. Um, and it's just one of those things. I love the moon. Okay. So day one was all about travel. Woke up to this beautiful sight here out of the plane. And once I got to New Mexico, Albuquerque, I was waiting on some people to get there. We were driving through a sandstorm by the time we got to up in Colorado. And by the time we got to camp, I was scared. I was like, one, I was scared, like, am I in the right fucking place? Two, the sandstorm was crazy. Me and the girl that I was with, we were driving together. We could not breathe by the time we got there. But I was so upset. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to see the full moon. It's going to be too crazy. It's going to be, it's like we really could not see shit. It was the eeriest sun in the sky ever. And we're just sitting, I was taking pictures like, what the fuck is this? So I'm definitely, just snapping pictures because I'm like, well, I can't breathe. And the wind was going crazy as hell. When I say it was like, these are still pictures, but the wind was going absolutely bananas when I was going through here. Like I literally, my eyes started tearing, like the allergies started kicking in, and it was this crazy sandstorm that you just could not see shit of what was going on, right? And so I thought the scenery was beautiful though. This is Eagle Ridge luxury camp. It's glamping, so you're not camping, you're glamping. But I thought it was very beautiful. It's up on a mountain, of course. I couldn't breathe because elevation kicks my ass all the time. But I just thought it was so beautiful, even with the sandstorm coming in. I thought it was really, really beautiful. I was extremely tired by this time because it was like 5:30 in the evening by the time we got there. Decided to do a couple selfies, got to do a couple selfies outside. But my tent, I loved the way they put my tent together. They give us a cooler. You have a cooler with ice. And we did have to put the net up because of course bugs and shit. And this shit was blowing. I mean, the wind was like blowing, but this shit was secure as fuck. Like the wind did not. But it was like a boho kind of scene, and it was just really, really comfortable too. The bed inside there, because there's a bed inside there, was so comfy that I actually ended up falling asleep. We had the TP toilets, flushable toilets at that, and that was something that I was really like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to shit outside. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. My body's gonna shut down. I'm gonna be constipated the whole time. But it actually is a little toilet that does flush. It was pretty fucking neat. And I have to give him much props for that. But just being outside in the wilderness, I've never camped before, you guys. I've never camped before in my fucking life. So for me, this was such a huge experience, of course. A couple more selfies before I fell asleep in my tent and was done for basically for the day. I woke up, it was dark time. I think I woke up, it was like 9 something at night, pitch black all out there, even though there was some little lights and stuff outside. And I just said, fuck that. I'm not going to venture nowhere. Even though I had a lantern, I was like, nah. So I look up in the sky. There goes the moon again. It's not a full moon. It's just almost full. And I was just in awe, sitting right outside my tent in this dark, in the woods, in the camp, just in awe of what I was seeing. And it just had me at such a peace, such a place of just like, wow, I want to travel more. I was like, man, we work, we do all this stuff, and we really never get to put the time and effort that we want to. So day 2, I wake up to this beautiful, beautiful scene. This is, from the ledge of where my tent is at. And it was so beautiful before the sun came up. 5 something in the morning is when I woke up, because of course I was still on East Coast time and we were on mountain time. But then I decided to take a picture from the shitter. I was in the teepee tent. Decided to take a picture like, oh, that looks nice. Um, and just, we had running water so we could brush our teeth. Which was, look, this is one of the tents of one of the other guests, beautiful, and they said the bed was comfy as hell. Now I'm a little high sedity here. We had running water, so I got to take a beautiful shower. That shower pressure, I want to tell you, was the best. So we had some beautiful, delicious fruits, tea in the morning, some cakes and stuff, continental breakfast that they give. And we just sat there kind of really getting to know each other, talking. I didn't get to do the chakra yoga because my ass had zero service and I forgot to download some stuff to my phone. So we did not get to do the chakra yoga like I wanted to, but we got to sit and talk and kind of chop it up before we got into our in setting intentions and tree planting. So then we went over to where we let our jars and our stones. We brought some crystals with us to let charge in the sun while we were digging a hole and planting our trees, which you're going to see coming in a moment. You've heard moon water, but there's also sun water. So we were charging our water, charging our stones before we planted those underneath the trees. So then we got to digging, and it was cool. We were listening to music. It was 5 of us all together. A couple did one tree. The 2 other ladies with me did a tree, and then I did a tree by myself. And so we were planting. We had the sage. We're just chilling with Mother Gaia, chilling in nature, digging and getting to work. Okay, putting these baby trees into the ground. We are by the moon bath site, which we'll talk about that later. But it was really cool just to be connected and digging for these trees and putting this together. And I want to tell you guys, those of you guys that are waiting to live life because you think you're too big or you think you don't have enough money, this, that, and the third, you really have to get out of that mindset and just start getting out there and having fun and enjoying your life. But I love this opportunity to plant trees in this new life, setting intentions. I actually planted rose quartz to grow love into the world. But I loved my spiritual colleagues over here. And they were awesome. When you have good people, you have good conversation, and you have a great trip. And I think that's what also plays a big part in when you're doing any type of retreats, getting like-minded people and getting like-minded or like vibrational energy to come on these trips. And they all had beautiful fun doing their trees as well. But this is the finished product of what we did. And again, I can't wait to see what our trees look like next year because I'm actually going to be doing this yearly. So if you want to get in on this retreat, definitely get in my inbox because I will be starting to take pre-payments and things like that. So you saw a little bit of the moon baths. We'll look at that a little bit later. But we really just sat and enjoyed this time together, enjoyed putting this together and really planting this with intentions and saging the area, saging the energy, and just really connecting. And so, again, I cannot wait to see what these trees look like next year. I know they grow small and slow, but I can't wait to see what it looks like next year and just kind of connect in that way. But beautiful, beautiful, just doing something to Mother Earth. So we took a little group photos here. And of course, we were just told to kind of go with it. So we just kept going with it. I do want to say, though, it'll be pretty cool to kind of match up the group photos with like next year and then seeing like, well, who keeps coming. I think everyone that was here with me, I'm in the bright yellow or bright green, should I say, and everyone comes with me. They've already won. They said they're coming back next year. So it'll be pretty cool to see everyone next year and the other people who decide to come aboard with us. But I had a lot of fun with them. These people were just really cool. I felt like I knew them already. Of course, that's how it is in the spiritual community. You just know people, you're from past lives together. You've seen each other before. It's just kindred spirits coming together to just really live and have fun. And that's definitely what we were doing in this particular setup. So again, I hope that you guys decide you want to go. This is in, I'm going to tell you guys, it's in Colorado, but they have 2 camps, New Mexico, which is the Navajo Dam. area, and then you have Durango, Colorado, which we were not in the Durango area. Just we were in the New Mexico, the tip of the New Mexico area. So this is just another ledge looking off into the beautiful like scenery, looking into the beautiful cliff of where we were. Definitely a huge drop should we have dropped off of there. But then we went down to the lake, which was a really cool process and an experience because I have been to a couple of lakes, but I've never like did paddleboarding and shit like that. So it was really cool to just go down there. We had to go down the mountain, which was a little scary, as you see right here, where I was videotaping one of the ladies. Me and her were both scared, so I was on the right, and she was right next to me because it actually had this huge drop, and she didn't want to look. So it was actually pretty fucking funny. You had to have been there to experience it. Let's just say that. But by the time we got down, the lake was very beautiful all around where you think you could just walk up to the water. It actually got very muddy very quickly where I sank in. He actually pushed me forward on his fucking paddleboard and I got super scared because I've never paddleboarded in my fucking life. And I thought I was going to die. And I was scared, but I decided to take a selfie anyway once I got myself settled to sit up and decided to take a selfie. And then we took a couple more pictures of ourselves just hanging around the lake. The wind was super crazy though, so we really didn't get far because of the way the wind kept blowing us. But we actually sat out here. I actually got burnt the fuck up. We actually sat out here a couple hours and just talked. And I mean, we talked about so much different stuff that it's just crazy of how much we talked about. But I just love the fact of the way this lake was. It was just so beautiful. The water wasn't too cold. So yeah, Durango, Colorado is where we were up in, and just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scenery. And they have all of these beautiful places to meditate. They're kind of these little setups to meditate and to kind of look off over the cliff because like I said we were up in a mountain. And I just love the fact of the way they put this camp together. So it is called Eagle Ridge luxury camps. Their website will be in the description. They're not paying me for this, but I just thought I would really like send it because I thought this was an amazing place. And I really think that it was amazing space to be in and so zen. So then we got same day, later on that day, full moon baths. Beautiful, beautiful setup. I cannot tell you how happy I was for this fucking setup of all of us in these moon baths because the full moon, right? We're under the strawberry Sagittarius full moon, June 14th, 2022. So, the baths are hot. We have the ceremony table. We did our intentions. We set new beginnings. We released some shit. I actually released some anger that I needed to release there. But we had a beautiful setup. It's just enough witchiness and elegance. Champagne. There was bourbon. I think there was whiskey, not bourbon. But there's sage and we have basil leaves. I mean, we have mugwort. We're just like really setting the intention for getting tuned into this as the sun was going down and just preparing. They prepare it with towels, hot bath, just really beautiful ambiance before we got into the tubs. I did not know how to take a smiley picture. I'm over on the left. I don't know why Katrina's over there on the left. I mean, Katrina looked like gangsta in this photo. She looked like she's about to take off somebody's head. I didn't know how to smile apparently in this picture, but it's okay. These are what the baths look like inside. Different people had either rose and honey or milk baths. One of them I think was a champagne and something bath. Mine was a red wine. I think that's the champagne in kind of citrus champagne bath. And I think mine is coming up. It has the red wine and white roses bath that's coming up. This one is the champagne and citrus, and we actually got an extra bottle to pour in. This is the setup, of course, beautiful setup. We popped some champagne, which was really cool, and just really celebrated and toasted to new beginnings together and to really release together. Also had some candles, fluorite, to charge, and actually set some intentions. And while we were in the bath, those candles got to burn. Um, Beautiful. Like when I say Portia did her thing with fruit, I don't know where she buys this fruit, but the fucking fruit was amazing the whole time I was here. I mean, these strawberries were fucking ridiculous. I'm just gonna be honest. Like all of her fruit, I think it's all organic or some shit, but that shit was fucking amazing, right? So beautiful setup, beautiful ambiance. Like I said, just enough witchiness and elegance to fit all your needs. So it doesn't matter if your group is very witchy or not so witchy. It doesn't matter because it actually is a beautiful, beautiful setup. We had the cauldron going. We even got to set some intentions in those, but the baths were beautiful. That's Ashley popping champagne before we got into the baths, and then it was time to soak. Of course, after we burned our basil intentions. So we got to set some mugwort in there and burn some ancestor money. You'll see coming up releases on the basil leaves that we did releases, and just kind of once again setting the intention on what it is that we were going to go do, you know what I mean? And saying thank you to our ancestors, saying thank you to our spirits that led us to this particular place together in this beautiful ambiance that I cannot rave enough of. And then boom, soaking until that full moon started to come up. And let me tell you, none of our fucking cameras do this full moon justice. Not one can do it justice of what we saw laying in these baths and just chilling. It was so fucking dark, but when that sun actually hit its peak, it was so bright outside that it was like, who turned on the light? And we're out in the fucking woods. So it was like, who turned on the light? But again, none of our cameras did it justice. But this picture right here, you see the full moon. It's just, you just sitting in a fucking hot tub watching this full moon come up. How better can life be? Like, how better, like, how does it get any better than this is what I kept telling myself, which is something Nicole, if you guys know Nicole, you know who she is like what kept coming up. And then finally, I decided to pose, and not in my best birthday suit. As you guys know, I've been going through a lot of changes with my body and losing weight, but I decided to say, fuck it. I'm going to take a picture and just be in this tub in my sexiness. Definitely will not be the same next year, but I've decided to love myself regardless right now through all of the changes and through all of the ugly stages. And that's a lot of the anger that I was letting go today. So again, our pictures do not do it justice, but I tell you, when it got to a certain extent, it was so bright outside, you would have thought it was morning, but it wasn't really morning. It was the full moon. So then, day 3 is our goodbyes. We didn't get that many days because it was pre-booked, and that's the only days that we got. But again, just looking at the scenery and taking a couple more glances at, looking out. I really did love the whole camp and the way that they set things up. I think Portia has a beautiful ideas coming too of what they're doing, and their other camp that they're getting, together for it. But it was just really cool to spend some time with some cool ass people and, just be a little ridiculous. And I think we talked about every fucking thing that we can imagine, from spirituality to real life to just letting go and living, to just finding ways to be happy, finding ways to just stop, going through the monotony and creating joy in our life. And I feel like this trip, excuse me, was so beautiful for so many people that we all got to just like, man, we need to create this on an everyday basis. Now, not every day is going to be an adventure to most, but that's kind of is, just to create and make it. So on the way home, I snapped a couple pictures in New Mexico before we got to the airport. And then I did stop at Sawmill. Bomb ass fucking food in Albuquerque. You got to go there. Sawmill, beautiful, beautiful place. That place was the fucking bomb. I tore that shit up. Uh, And of course, at the Albuquerque, New Mexico airport, snapped a couple pictures. They had some beautiful artwork there. I am a sucker for artwork, heritage, and things like that. So I always took this for Katrina. Shout out to Katrina with her air balloon idea. The pictures was down. I was going to take a selfie in that one, but I didn't. And then my last picture was this one. I just thought that was awesome, of just feeling like that freedom that I obtained on this particular trip. And it was just something that just really stuck to me. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trip, hands down. Thank you so much for watching this. Go visit Eagle Ridge Luxury Camping. They're fucking awesome.